Hello everyone, Zelrant here, and today for Etheria Restart, I want to talk a little bit about my most used, as well as my most invested unit within the game, and why everybody else should be investing in her as well. And that is going to be the unit Lian. Now, all of us have unique accounts in terms of the units that you started with, because the best strategy in the beginning was to put all of your pulls into that permanent banner until you kind of have a decent setup. Like, for example, I re-rolled until I was happy with an account, and then I stopped on the permanent banner at that point. And as you can see, my units that I have are Beatin, Heinrich, and Freya, as well as Doki Doki, who's all the way down here. I haven't really invested in Doki Doki at all yet, but that will be coming. I just don't have the resource. You might ask, Lian was the free character. She's not one that you specifically re-rolled for, but why are you investing so heavily into her? I mean, I have her all the way up to 6 stars. I've put a ton into her skills. I'm moving her through her skills here. And overall, I've used her for all content, which even includes what she's the worst at, which is Doki Doki, because of how heavily invested she is. She's out damaging and doing better than even like Heinrich is for me on that content. And there's a multitude of reasons why I'm doing this, and most people aren't really thinking about it too much. And one of the big first ones is automatically she has quests in the hyperlink charter. And so if you haven't really invested in her, when you kind of look at the stuff you can get in here, you pretty much get all the stuff you need to invest in. You get your perfect lattices to cover the skill requirements. So you get the perfect lattice here that's needed to cover this one here. Everything else is fairly standard here, so it can easily move you onto here. These ones are all basically, you just got to use her to beat specific content to get through those. Basic training 3, kind of the same situation. This one actually gives you a duper for her, which makes her even better there. And then right now, I'm currently on expert training 3, which will give me another dupe. And so you just keep continuing getting all these resources. And this isn't the end. Like, as you can see with Commission Chronicle 2 here, which I've actually gotten through the first Commission Chronicle all the way up through Master here, it unlocks another one with more quests that continue. As you can kind of see with the amount of points here, there is a lot more to come for her on my account. But you have that, and it's pretty much giving you all the resources you need, because they're very they're very few and far between in terms of some of the stuff that you can get within your account. And so, because it wants you to invest in her, I invested in her over investing in my other units at this point. And that's why I'm using her to beat all the content. Like right now, I have a decent team for Terramaton, including her. And I don't really have a good team for Doki Doki. As you can see, yeah, I've got like she's absolutely great, but I don't have someone like Riyamoka or any other big AoE DPS that I can utilize here to make her any easier. At least that I haven't invested in. I probably can, I just don't want to put the resources in there yet. I want to put them into my SSRs, which includes Lian. But there's one area that I think a lot of people may have missed, and this is why I'm pushing her so hard now to get her through the hyperlink charter, we have an event here that I don't know if I'll be utilizing it, but it is available. It's available for the next 4 days at least. And this is where you can actually get all of the resources you've invested into a character back. So if I would actually put Lian in here, I would get all of her skill pieces I used, I would get all of the shadow prints on her back, all of her XP that I've invested in her, all of the modules here. Everything will come back if I want to. And so by heavily investing in her right now, I can make it where I push content with her because she's super strong, even helping me limp through Doki Doki at Nightmare 1. It's helping me. I'm able to get her stuff in the hyperlink charter done. But then there's also the potential, if I can actually get through the entire thing by the end of the next 3.5 days, and I can actually complete all of this. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but if I can complete all of this, I can then, after I'm done, I can go back and say, all right, I'm done. I've got all those hyperlink charters now. I want to start focusing on being able to beat maybe this specific thing. And while Lian can still be really good for Terramaton, once we get to like the harder difficulties, like in Hell, she's not going to be usable at all for like Doki Doki, and I'm going to have to kind of build around my other units. And so I don't need as much resources in her at that point. And that is where that event can come in clutch, is that it will give you all those resources back. and then you can still invest in her. You'll have to like re-level her up and stuff, but like if I were to use that on her, I can pull her back to maybe only having 5 stars versus 6. And that way I can maybe take my Heinrich and bring him to 6 stars instead, and then start putting my skill points more into him versus hers. I haven't really made my decision on that yet, but just know that that option is available. And so while you may say, well, it kind of sucks to have to invest in her right now, you can always get them back. I don't know if I'm going to even do that, though, because she has been absolutely great, and she's almost certainly going to be in my Terramaton team all the way through Infernal, for the simple fact that I will not be having the option to pretty much get another unit until we see a good one on the banner here, which this banner will be changing out in 6 days, so we'll kind of have to see what we get on these banners, because I may be able to dramatically improve my account from that. But I at least have her for the time being, and then I can always pull those resources out. I don't know, though, if they're going to be ever, like, if this is going to be a standard event that'll come back at some point. I'm going to guess we will see this every so often. But it is a great option. If you're especially if you're one of those people that's heavily dumping all of your max refreshes, it may be possible to have completed all of her charter before that event ends, and then you can pull all the resources back out and then redistribute them a little bit more evenly. But for the time being, she's absolutely great, able to carry you through pretty much all the content that I've done at this point, which even includes Doki Doki. And so I will continue to use her and then make my decision towards the end on whether or not I want to keep those investments in her. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about it because I did see a lot of people saying that she's not very good, and if you heavily invest in her too much, you're going to struggle with some of the other stuff. I haven't had too many problems utilizing her at all. And like my core team has pretty much been her, Freya, Sonya, Gray, and then depending on whether I was doing like Terramaton or Doki Doki, swapping between Marvel and Kaizuyu. And then all the other content, I think a lot of them I'm using Marvel alongside her and Freya. And it just seems to work. It's completing almost all content for me up to this point. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just thought I'd let people know, so because everybody usually sees the first unit they get as like garbage and they're not worth the time or investment in them. But this game absolutely sets you up for success with her. And then also down the line, you are given the option to remove all of that stuff if you no longer need her. Because everybody's account's different. You very may well have a good team already that can do Terramaton. Mine doesn't really have dedicated members, so she actually works really good for me. But you may have one of the other tier 0 units for Terramaton that can do all the damage needed, and you don't need her, and so you just finish the hyperlink charter and then pull the materials out of her to get them back. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. If you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.